Hello everyone, this is Catalina from daydreamingtoreality.com, and today I am going to teach you how to make outlines or shadows to using Cricut Design Space with fonts that you find online and that you download and want to use for your projects. These are not the fonts that are part of Cricut's library. Very big difference. These are fonts that are in your system. If you haven't watched the first video of this series of how to make shadows in Cricut Design Space, I recommend you go over there because I cover all of the essentials that we're gonna be using here. I'm gonna cover them here really quick, but I don't want you to miss out on how to make beautiful outlines and shadows for SVG files you find in the web, like this one. I cover how to make these outlines. It's very easy, and we're gonna be using some of that today, and also some troubleshooting for what to do if you run into some trouble. Okay, let's just go to our tutorial. Here's the thing. Most people, or a lot of people, love buying fonts online. I am one of them. I love a good font, and I like Cricut's fonts, but let's face it, they're not 100% like the ones that you can buy or get. So if you want to make outlines for your own fonts, you usually need a program like Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, or Inkscape. But the purpose of this tutorial is to show you how to do it without nothing, starting from zero. Now, if you have a computer, most likely is that you have at least one software that allows you to type your text. It can be Word or WordPad, anywhere where you can type and use your system fonts. I have Word, so I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna open it. And one of the fonts that people love and enjoy using for their projects is called I Love Glitter. I'm going to show you how to do it right now. So I'm going to open a blank document like this. Perfect. And I'm just going to type in my text. I'm going to choose my font. It's called I Love Glitter, and you can use it for your personal projects, I believe, but if you are using it for commercial projects, you need to buy a license. I bought the license, right? So I am going to just type. Let me increase the font size here. Let's just do something bigger, right? There you go, that looks better. And I also going to place the layout of my paper, like the orientation, to landscape, so I have more space to write. And so I'm gonna write Catalina. I'm just gonna write Cata and Jeremiah and JR. That's my husband's name. And I think to do the little heart that a lot of people use, you just press Shift and then the little, like the underscore line, and then I have here JR. Now the font is ready to go, but I've noticed that when I'm about to teach you, it's a little bit bigger, it works better. So you want to increase as much as you want, like zoom in your text. Also, don't get rid of this little thing, like the typing thing, so just move it to the left. And if you have autocorrect, turn it off. We don't want any red in what we're about to do. So just like we did on this first video, we're gonna use the snipping tool. Okay, so click on a snipping tool, and we're going to select the design, just the text. Don't include anything else. If you have a Mac computer, you can also use an app called grab. And there's tons of tutorials in YouTube that are just like 3 minutes long, and you can see how to use these tools. They're so easy. It's just to take a photo of your computer. Now I'm gonna click on File to save the screenshot I just took on the computer, and I'm gonna click on Save As, and I'm gonna save it on my desktop, and I'm just gonna put Cara and Jer. Now, a lot of people use it with the name of their kids or with things that are important to them. And once you have the photo, you saved it to your desktop. I'm gonna show you my desktop. It's a mess right now, so I'm sorry for that. I have it right here. And what we're going to do is that this image is a JPEG file, right? So the method I'm about to teach it cannot work on a JPEG file. You need an SVG file. But luckily for us, there are tons of websites that will convert JPEG images to SVG files. My favorite by far, I tested like 5 or 6 for this tutorial, is this one. It's called Convertio. Now, let's be realistic. This converter is not gonna work with a very complex image. I mean, it's just not. It's going to work with images that have a really good contrast, where their software or whatever can read the file very well. And what we did with text is the perfect example of the things that can work. That's why you can do the method I'm about to teach you. Okay, so select the file from your computer, choose Files, and I have it here, Cara and Jer. And I'm gonna upload it, and then it says convert to SVG, and then click here. And now I can download it. And I'm gonna save it here on Cara and Jer. Perfect. Now I'm gonna go back to my desktop and open the file. Do you see it? It's right here. Now we're facing a big problem right now. The problem we're facing is that this image is really big. So again, like I showed you on the first part of my video, please go watch it, because it's where I explain what Inspect Element is, the tool that we're gonna use now. Click again on Inspect Element, Ctrl-Shift-I, and now you can see that the file is very big. You know, so even if we make the outline, we really cannot see it. So what you need to do is to reduce the width. First, you start by width, and then just put in 50% until it's smaller. And then you can use, I think it's a little bit smaller. I think 80% is perfect. You see, so now we corrected this. And what we can also do is to move it a little bit to the right. So if your file is on the top or at the bottom or on the left or on the right and you cannot see it, you can use margin, and you can have margin left or margin right, margin top, margin bottom, whatever it is that you need. In this case, we need the margin left. And to do that, let's just add like a random number. 30 works perfect. I want it a little bit more centered. 50, I'll do it 60. Perfect. Now we have our 60 pixels. Perfect. You can just leave it 60, or some of these things work with pixels. Now we have our file, and doesn't it look perfect? It's an SVG file. What we're going to do is to add the stroke, the outline. So let's do stroke. And let's just do it like a big color, like crimson, so you can see better. Now, check out something. Some of the changes were able to be done on the main element. Again, please watch my first part of this series. So we have the elements here. But sometimes, especially when you convert JPEGs to SVG files, the changes cannot take place on the first element, but the second one. Notice that nothing happened here. So step on the second element. Now let's add the stroke. Let's do it yellow. You cannot see very well because it's just a thin line, but let's just add the stroke width. Do you see? Now you can see it very well. And I want a big outline, so I'm gonna add more than that, 60, no, let's add 200. Does that look good to you? I'm gonna do a little bit bigger, 250. I think that looks good to me. And remember, this file is very round, so you don't have angles coming out, but sometimes the angles can be very pronounced, and if that happens, you need to add stroke, line join. And now let's select round. Stroke line join doesn't work that much here because of the nature of this file. However, if you're watching this video for the first time and you don't want to watch the first part, it's very important that you know about it. Stroke line join. When you're happy with the outline, I am very happy the way it looks. Again, open the snipping tool or the grab tool in Mac. And save it. I'm gonna save it as Cara Engineer Outline. Perfect. And the next time we can just close inspect element now, and I'm going to open Cricut Design Space. Let me open it here. When Cricut Design Space is open, just create a new project. And now we are going to upload an image. We're gonna select the outline one. And let's see, these colors, I mean, between the white and yellow, they don't have a lot of contrast. Let's see. Oh yes, it's working pretty well. Now with the eraser tool, you can delete all the parts that you don't want from the outline. In this case, I just want to delete the outside. I want to keep the rest of it like it is, like a solid outline. And I'm going to select save as a cut image. Perfect. Now we have our beautiful outline. Now you have two options. If your SVG file looks perfect when you converted it from JPEG, you can upload it. And you have both images right now. Let me show you here. Let me go. You have to resize the SVG file and kind of fit it in your outline. Let me see. It takes a couple of seconds, but it's perfect, don't you think? I mean, just take your time so everything is nice and beautiful. You don't want to rush this process. Like this here. There you go. That looks pretty good to me, don't you think? It looks perfect. And the other option you have is to just write your text again and fix it. Like, let's select the font here. I love glitter, and then you have to fix it like this. But why would you? You know? This is sometimes, if you convert the SVG file, it won't be 100% perfect. So that's the way you will want to do it, like this. So in advance, you would just remove the letter spacing and then just complete by ungrouping two letters and then move. Let me duplicate the outline here. Let's fit a different color. And let's do this one a white one. And I have to bring this one to, the layer down, the outline behind this. Let me see, do you see it? So just right click and move send to front. And now we just need to keep resize until it fits our outline. You can use any of those two options. Like for me, as I mentioned, I prefer to use the the SVG file that I created to do the outline rather than writing the text again and again. But I just wanted to show you the possibilities, right? And you have it, a beautiful outline. What do you think? Do you like it? What a lot of people like to do are the knockouts, sort of projects. Let me know in the comments if you would like me to make a video about how to make a knockout tutorial. I'd love to do that for you. That's it. Although I just showed you how to do it with text, I want to go back to the SVG file, to just a regular SVG file that you have on your computer or you download it from a website. Let's look at this example. It says love, right? And then you are like, no, I cannot make an outline here, because even if you try to reuse the space on, kind of like zoom out from your web browser, it's not going to work. It's just not going to, because this is the way the SVG file was saved and it's just big. I don't want you to stop doing outlines because of this, so that's why I'm repeating this again. When this happens to you, go to Inspect Element again and select the first element and start by saying, again, width, reduce it to 50%. And now you can edit it. And you can again say margin left. You can do 100 pixels or 200. And now you can edit it better. Now it's very important that before you add the stroke width and stroke line join, that you resize the SVG file, because it just won't work if you do the other ones first. So if your file is too big, please just resize it first and then edit it. Now on the elements panel, you saw that when we just did the text, when we converted the SVG file, it didn't work on the first element. That's the thing with coding. Sometimes the coding can be off a little bit, and depending how the file was saved, you have to experiment. If it doesn't work, like let's add the stroke here. Let's add this color. Stroke, it worked perfectly. Now let's do stroke width, and stroke width 15. It worked, but sometimes it won't. So if it doesn't work, just go to the second element, and sometimes it actually works. In fact, you can even edit like different colors. Like you can do this one, stroke, you can change the color for green, you see, and now you have different outlines and different colors for strokes. But it's not really, it doesn't really make sense for you to use. You're gonna upload this image as a cut image, so it's gonna be all black when you get it to your canvas area. So it really doesn't make sense for you to just change the outline of a single letter, right? You wanna edit all the files, and that's why you have to step on the first element. And that's it, you guys. I really hope this solves all of your questions, and then you're motivated to write your own text with your own fonts that you buy online. And on the next video, on the part 3 of this series, I'm gonna show you the ways I add outlines for images that are inside Cricut Design Space. Like let's say you love a quote from Design Space and you cannot find it anywhere. I have, let me show you here on my article, a way to do it. It's not 100% perfect, but it gets the job done if you take your time and you're patient. You can also check it out. I'm gonna leave a link in the description along with a bunch of files that you guys can practice with. That's it, you guys. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and go and ring the bell so you don't miss my next video coming up soon. I will see you in my next video. Bye.